The medium was released yesterday and had some mixed reviews. All in all, I personally think the story was decent, but the ending could have been a bit less of a cliffhanger. As the ending was not canon, here are some theories and possible endings analyzed. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator, and here's the medium ending explained. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more videos, and beware, as there will be strong spoilers ahead. To understand the possible endings better, let's quickly go over the story and how the ending was set up. Marianne is a medium who possesses some strong psychic abilities which let her travel between real and spirit world, in which spirits reside, usually harmless, but sometimes monstrous, who are the embodiment of people's inner demons. Marianne is troubled with the same vision over and over again of a girl getting shot on a pier by a mysterious man. Marianne receives a mysterious call from a guy called Thomas, who informs her to go to a resort called Neva, a place where a mass massacre took place in. When Marianne is unconvinced and distrusts this man, he quotes, "It all starts with a dead girl," implying that he knows about Marianne's visions. Fast forward, Marianne meets a mysterious spirit girl called Sadness when she arrives at the resort. Sadness informs Marianne there were different spirits such as rage, fear, and helplessness, whom all were eaten by a mysterious monster who chases after Marianne throughout the game. Marianne observes the previous events through the perspective of a person called Richard, where he sees Thomas, who is the owner of the resort. That's when we learn Thomas has psychic abilities similar to Marianne and that he is the father of a girl called Lili, whom is presumed to be Sadness, the spirit girl Marianne meets. Thomas discovers that Richard, who Thomas hired under his wing, had molested Lili. Thomas infiltrates Richard's mind to destroy him from within. In the spirit world, where Thomas infiltrates minds, there are the vulnerable pure child and the monster which causes the person to commit his crimes. Thomas destroys the child, and what leaves behind is the blob-like monster whom Marianne destroys. Later on, we observe Thomas again, this time through the perspective of a person called Henry, who goes on a long monologue about the Polish history, how after Nazis, the Red Army took over Poland and imprisoned many people, including Thomas. Henry tortures Thomas to learn about his powers, which leads Henry to burn his house containing his two daughters. Thomas manages to infiltrate Henry's mind, but when he meets the vulnerable child embodiment of Henry, he realizes that the child is not vulnerable and that it was a trap. The monster hound and the child embodiment trap the spirit Thomas in the spirit world, but the real-life Thomas manages to kill Henry. So this means that Henry is all evil and doesn't have any emotions that causes him or leads him to do his actions. At this point, we don't know if the daughter survived or not. Marianne meets the hound and the hound informs her that she is the other daughter of Thomas, making her the sister of Lili. A little later, Marianne meets the spirit Thomas, who informs her that real-life Thomas manages to save the daughters, leaving Marianne in the hospital to be adopted and locking Lili in a bunker-like world. He transports Marianne to this world where she meets Lili. In this finale, we are bombarded with information that answers majority of the unanswered questions throughout the game. Lili says that during the fire, she created a powerful entity to save them, who turns out to be the monster. The monster is then too strong to be contained by Lili and manages to set himself loose, causing the mass massacre in the Neva resort. Lili tells Marianne that the dream she had about the girl dying is no other than Lili, and that Marianne has to pull the trigger to get rid of the monster. Marianne contemplates and realizes that by killing herself, the monster would eventually die as it needs to consume or wear bodies of people to sustain itself. And the only way that it can survive is by possessing Marianne, as she is a strong medium and would sustain the monster possibly for eternity. At this last struggle, Marianne fighting Lili's psychic abilities to shoot her and shooting herself, the screen goes to black and we have a final scene of the spirit Thomas leaving the resort, potentially being freed. Now we are left on this cliffhanger. Not sure if Marianne shot Lili, shot herself, or none at all. Let's go ahead and analyze each possibility. Let's assume Marianne shot Lili. If she did, she would get rid of the monster as well, as the spirits are tied to the host and wouldn't be able to survive without them. However, Richard's and Henry's monsters managed to live without them, so that doesn't make much sense that by killing Lili, the monster called the Maw would die too. That's what you would think initially, but the way they survived could also be because the way Thomas infiltrated their host minds was different to how Marianne approaches the spirit world. The children would die, but the monsters are left behind, as we're told in the game.
You're him, Richard.
I am what's left of him. The bleeding wound, the sand drying on the stump.
But when Thomas kills Henry, he kills his real-life buddy, so that theory doesn't work here. Let's say the Maw or the monster we know would be left behind after killing Lili. As Marianne showed competence in easily killing the other two monsters without hosts, it's possible that she could easily kill the Maw without Lili as well, rather than just stunning him with her white, shiny psychic ability. So to put it simply, by killing Lili, Marianne could effectively kill the monster too. And this brings us to the second possible ending. If Marianne decides to shoot herself, she would prevent the monster from possessing her in an effort to sustain itself for much longer, even maybe for eternity, using Marianne as an energy source. This would slowly starve the monster and lead to his inevitable death. In a way, this is a long shot as the monster could still live for many more years before dying, and could even find other mediums or people to snack on to keep itself running. So technically, this wouldn't be the best ending in regards to destroying the monster. The third possible ending could be shooting no one. Even though we hear a gunshot, for analysis purposes, let's go over the possibility that no one gets shot. If Marianne decides not to shoot herself or Lili, the monster would stay alive and possibly possess Marianne and sustain itself for a long time. Marianne could also stun it and escape once more, always in fear that the monster could possess her again. So this would be a pretty bad ending, unless the creators or some other creative minds decide to add more to the story. And for the final possible ending, Marianne could have a breakdown and get stuck in the spirit world. This is a little far-fetched, but if Marianne gets stuck in the spirit world, she will always be in presence of the monster, and that wouldn't be too good. Also, when the screen turns black, Marianne says it all starts with a dead girl, which we hear in the very beginning of the game, when the screen is still black. So this could hint out that it's a loop that Marianne gets stuck in. Now, going over all the possible endings, with what information we were presented with, the most likely ending and possibly the best would be to shoot Lili and get rid of the monster once and for all. Before the screen goes to black, we can hear the spirit Thomas repeating that you cannot save everyone, Butterfly. And then the screen goes to black and we hear a gunshot. Marianne repeats, it all starts with a dead girl, so it's possible that she decided to shoot Lili. Here we have it, folks, for the ending explained and all the possible endings analyzed. Which ending do you like the best and which do you think is the most fitting? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, you can stay tuned for more like this one by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. Until the next video, have a fantastic day.